I thought that this was such a funny story about a guy who was very irritated. He had married a woman, and they were going to spend a weekend or spend some time at her parents' house. So this guy going to his in-laws. They're married. He married their daughter.
Right.
The in-laws had a rule, no sharing beds. You're not allowed to sleep in the same room. They're married.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of whenever it's just girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, even that the parents will say separate bedrooms. I've never heard once they were married. Because, I mean, like, obviously, once you're married, I would hope that you would share a bed together normally, right?
Well, I guess Dad didn't want to think about that with his sweet baby princess girl.
That's crazy. That's insane.
I don't know. But the way this guy turned it on its head, then whenever the in-laws came to visit him and his wife, he was like, hey, my house, my rules. You guys don't get to share a bed.
I love it. No, I think that's great. If that's the rules when it's their turn, then guess what? When you come to my house, same rule.
Yeah, the guy went on to say that he never really felt welcomed in family functions and everything, and especially the fact that he wasn't allowed to share a room with his wife made him feel kind of ostracized from the rest of the family. He didn't like it. So I would love to know, when were you able to throw your parents' rules back in your face? And I ask because I've never done that. I feel like I used all my smart aleckness up before I turned 18.
Well, it doesn't have to be smart aleckness. Like, yeah.
You don't think this guy's being a smart aleck?
That guy is, but I think sometimes when you're an adult child and you have your own place, you try to lay down the law. You try to say my house, my rules, and you're not trying to be a smart aleck, but it's still tough when it's your parents because they think like, wait a minute, no, it should be our rules that you have to follow. Why am I having to follow your rules?
What rules did you have to put into place for your parents? 601-995-1017 is our phone number. Call or text us. Do you have a story like this? Because I don't. Like, I've always been like, whatever you want, Mom and Dad. I've never really needed to lay down any laws with my parents.
I would think my family would see it as there was a year that I ruined Thanksgiving because I was like, my apartment, my rules.
Explain.
I have a lot of food allergies, and there was a time that I decided to add pretty much vegetarianism on top of that, so no meat. So whenever I moved into my big girl apartment in Florida, I was like, no meat needs to be cooked in my oven on my cookware. Like, that is sacred. It is mine, my house, my rules. And my parents were going to be coming for Thanksgiving. Obviously, they wanted to cook the turkey, and I was like, you're not going to be cooking that in my oven. So we had a turkeyless Thanksgiving, and I've never seen my dad be so annoyed in a dinner.
Well, yeah. That's insane.
They did follow the rule, though, so, like, I enforced it.
601-995-1017 is our phone number. I was saying how I don't really want to be a smart aleck to my parents anymore and enforce rules. Somebody just said, that's so Catholic of you, Adam.
The guilt.
Well, it worked on me.
Yeah.
Sure did. This text says, I had to tell my mom to stop messaging my doctors because one doctor refused to put my charts up until I stopped her.
Oh, yeah, that is smart. Your mom doesn't need your medical information once you're an adult. That's crazy.
I am surprised we didn't get more texts about like parenting rules, like how you are raising your kids versus how your parents raised you, the differences that might have occurred. I've heard from just several people who are trying the gentle parenting thing that they have to talk to their parents all the time.
They have to parent their parents about their gentle parenting.
Except I don't think that it is very gentle whenever you try to, hit the parents back by gently reminding them, like, no, I don't think it ever happens gently. I think you then parent your parent the same way they parented you, that you're trying to do different with your kids.
I love it. Caitlin says, my parents were always strict about touching the thermostat when I was growing up. So now when they come to visit, I get in a fight with my dad every single time about the air conditioning.
That's hilarious. That was also a massive argument in my household growing up. It was in Pennsylvania again, so it was a little bit different. But my dad had a rule, no air conditioning until June 1st. And there were high 90-degree days in May. Didn't matter. It wasn't June 1st yet.
Okay, well, that's a rule you can enforce later in life.
Well, but the funny thing is then whenever I started paying my own bills and everything, I was like, that June 1st thing wasn't such a bad...
I kind of get it.
I see where he was coming from on that.
Adam and Allison in the morning.